It's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming, dreaming in colors I never dreamed. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Lord have mercy. Sorry, was in the middle of something else. Sorry. Welcome to Radical Truth to Power, the Progressive Show with Les BS3. I am your host, Marlon, along with Adam Hart, along with Thiz. And on today's show, we're going to just look at a couple of topics that happened throughout last week. So the first hour is going to be pretty relatively short. The second hour, am I the a-hole, blah, 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 and everything like that. Just to give you a heads up, we had a small issue with a bunch of trolls coming through last night, later in the night. Absolutely none of them was political. They was just acting stupid. So I will please ask anybody, if you see anything tonight, to just immediately report them. But I'm going to try to keep an eye out for it myself. But anyway, how's everything going, Anna?
Going really well. Had a lovely visit with my nephew today. We took my dog out for a walk. Just a slow, cold day. Not much going on.
Thiz, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, nothing much going on my end. Got a new subscriber off of my new video, so thank you out there. Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'm just making it happen. It's weird. My camera is in the exact same place it always is, and you notice I'm zoomed in now. Last time I was on, I was this big, so I don't know what's going on with my computer. This is
I'm not gonna tell you. don't know what to tell you. Let's see who's already out there. I think tomorrow will be the first time I wish I was at work instead of it being a holiday, since I'd be easier to miss all the inauguration coverage. I mean, I have no problem with. Well, I wasn't gonna watch it anyway, but then again, I don't watch anybody's inauguration, so who cares? But I, for some reason, have been getting back into Property Brothers. And I don't know why. So I'm now fixated on that show again. Like,
Mama Heart loves that show.
I don't even
See,
know
I don't
why.
watch the show. I live in YouTube, the never-ending jungle of YouTube, where I'm watching. Here's how to drywall. Here's how to soundproof your room. Here's how. Right, I'm like in constant. Here's what this screw does versus what this screw does. Right, you know.
Mm.
Yeah.
I saw an awesome documentary about I forget what age it was, but tens of thousands of dinosaur bones have been found around Calgary. It's a whole herd of Pachyrhinosaurus, something like that. They're basically, think of the Triceratops, just a bit smaller. And something happened so quickly, so radically, that the entire herd, tens of thousands of animals, and they have found everything from newborn babies to teenagers to adults to elders. It's very incredible. Like, we have had some really incredible leaps forward in the paleontology world. Archaeology, looking for dinosaurs, looking for they're able to find a lot more of they were trying to make guesses off of like one leg bone about what the entire dinosaur would look like. And now we're actually seeing that, hey, a lot more had feathers than we thought, a lot more were bigger than we thought. Like, we used to put skin on the bones and go, here's a dinosaur, this is what that should have looked like. We were so wrong. Everything that we know from like Jurassic Park, throw that away.
I will not throw it away because it is my childhood.
No, you're right. Well,
at first, I'm be honest with you. When you first said Calgary, I thought you said Calvary, and I'm like, oh, so this proves Jesus and his disciples were riding dinosaurs.
When I said Calgary, you thought what?
Calvary, because Jesus was crucified. According to the New Testament, he was crucified on Calvary's cross. That's the location of Calvary. Not even Calvary like you riding on the horses. Calvary. And then according to certain parts of these what these called evangelicals, their rationalization for dinosaurs, because for the longest they just said that dinosaurs was a false flag and that God put dinosaurs in the earth to test our faith, because if we truly believe the Bible, then we would know to discard the idea of dinosaurs. That was just for the non-believers to believe in dinosaurs. But now, like there's some dude, and he's got, in fact, the Speaker of the House believed that the dinosaurs existed at the same time as people. So, I thought you said Calvary, and I was like, oh wait, no, Calgary, huh?
As in Canada?
Yeah,
a little bit north of northeast, but yes, Calgary.
For the love of God, please let me move on. Midas Touch will be streaming puppies and kitten videos all day.
Yeah, I saw that they were going to do that.
Oh, they already doing
that?
Yeah, I can't watch Midas Touch anyway, but yeah. I saw that. Wow. While we're on it, so my thing with Midas Touch is that, one, they are so solidly Democratic shows, so that's annoying. Even though I like Crooked Media and their Democratic shows, but they're different, right? And then you have Crooked Media is the guys who used to work for Obama. It's this two speechwriters and another guy.
Oh, is that what they have rebranded?
What,
Or
Crooked
is that
Media?
what you just?
No, that's the name of their network is Crooked Media, and they have different shows.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember the name of the shows, but yeah, I used to watch them all the time.
Right.
But Midas, I watched them for a while, and I had to stop because here's my main gripe with Midas. It's not even so much their coverage; it is their egregious use of clickbait. Like, I can't stand it. Like, Pod Save America. There we go. Thank you, Parker.
Thank you.
'Cause they
That's
got
what I
Pod
was.
Save America and Pod Save the World. No,
That's
Crooked
right.
Media owns both of those. So, but yeah, but Midas is just, it's too much clickbait. That's my problem. When they had the lady
Mhm.
who is a prominent attorney, I like her, but it would be like her and Popak would be on her together, and he would just be like over talking her all the time, and I didn't like
Really?
that, but I could get through it.
Oh, is her name Lee?
No, her name was, there's like 3 names.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
There is one woman, the politics girl. She comes.
Well, I
she
can't listen to her
is
at
in
all.
Midas, and I
Lee
do. I
McGowan.
like her
Yeah.
stories.
Lee McGowan.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can't listen to her at all.
No.
No, I think
I
she's
like her
super
for
smart,
sure.
right? But
Yeah.
like, it's her tone, her voice,
Yeah.
how she talks. It's very shrill to me. So I can't handle it, right? It's like listening to a Karen all day long. And even though if you listen to what she's saying, she's making pretty solid points. It's just her delivery, it's like chalk on a chalkboard for me.
All right.
All right, let's get this party started. Like I said,
Karen Friedman Agnifilo.
Whoa, I don't even.
That's her name.
Okay.
Super smart lady. Yo, she's on it.
Huh?
Now she has her own type thing where she does it with 2 other lady attorneys.
Look at Marlon's face.
He's tired of me interrupting him.
yes.
Wow.
These people at all. Shut up.
You know, it is so rare that I get to just spit a little bit. You could be patient.
I agree with Anna. Especially seeing as how the hour usually ends in like 30 minutes.
I can't do negative today. Positive vibes.
She's so adorable.
I love her.
2 videos today. Only 2 videos for the first hour, but we should get some good conversation out of it. The first video is lines at the immigration department.
First here at 6, this was the scene today at the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Office in Charlotte. We saw hundreds waiting in line for hours, hoping to get an appointment. And many folks said that they wanted to do this before Inauguration Day on Monday. We thank you for sticking with us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Vanessa Rufus. WCNC Charlotte's Anna King joins us live tonight to talk about what we saw out here. And Anna, you had a chance to talk to some of these families in line today. What did they tell you?
That's right, I did. Some families tonight told me they slept here last night hoping to just secure their place in line, and that line was wrapped around this building with people telling me they were just hoping to get that paperwork processed. Outside of the Immigration Center in Charlotte, hundreds wrapped in blankets, beanies, and large jackets, all bracing the cold and waiting to be heard. We were waiting with the cold and weather, worried to leave soon because we have to get home. This family and many others say they drove hours to come to this immigration center and were shocked at what they saw. A long line of people who all say they were hoping to secure an appointment before President Trump's inauguration on Monday. Well, we came to be checked and to be given time and another appointment to have time to look for a solution to our situation. The center opened their doors at 8 a.m., but people say they've been in line for nearly 20 hours, some filled with fear.
Pues sí.
Well, yes, there is a bit of fear, of anxiety, because of everything that is heard, everything that is seen, that they don't want us here. And we are not people who are afraid of doing something bad, but we are afraid that they deport us. And others saying they're confident in the process.
Sí, esto lo han implementando.
Yes, they are implementing this. They can even improve it. But people are afraid. I repeat, President Trump has some ideas, but he has to confront them with Congress. Those in line say they're not sure how long the process will take, but they're hopeful for a quick turnaround. Now, the center would not let us in to speak to anyone today, but we did call the number on the door to ask them about the crowd, and they would not pick up. But for now, here live in Charlotte, Anna King, WCNC Charlotte.
Anna, thank you.
So, go ahead, Anna.
You tried to call them when you see, let's put aside going down in some of the very last days before the inauguration. I don't know who started this idea, why this was the day, but you see that they are dealing with lines as far as the eye can see, and you're going to call them, take up some of their time so that somebody outside has to wait a little bit longer for you? Huh. I did not see anything about this before, and suddenly Marlon had he gave us the title in our group chat. I feel really bad for everyone. Something should have been done far a long time ago. That may be horrible of me to say. I really don't know why a day before, a couple of days before. I don't know their lives. I don't know.
Well, so I'm not surprised as far as like last minute type thing, because it's kind of like when you watch these movies where like there's a horrible virus outbreak or they're closing up the borders for whatever reason. So, you're desperate and you run to the border trying to, make it across. So I get it. That's why you run into the office trying to at least get your paperwork stamped, because someone out there, probably an activist or an advocate out there, has been trying to talk to the community and saying, hey, guys, you need to make sure that your process is at least you're in process. And, people, hope will play you false. Hope always will play you false. Hope is not a plan. So it's when you get down to the last minute that all of a sudden it's real. And so there you go. People flooding the offices, and then for everyone that's standing in those lines, there's like two more that are more like me and would have been like, last thing I'm going to go do is tell you where I'm at. So,
yeah.
So you got that part too, right? But drawn even further back from that, man, it's like, this is going to sound harsher than what I mean, but people really kind of stupid and lazy, all right? Because they in the country, okay? They're here. You didn't think to go take care of this a month ago, right? You are actually in an environment where you're flooded with some form of media, right? Even if you don't speak English, you're flooded with probably, Telemundo or some of their other programming that's similar to them. The news is not foreign. You knew the election happened. You knew most of them. Now, some people literally do not consume news, but
Yeah.
this stuff is out there. It's all that's out there. Okay.
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's rumors along their jobs, there's rumors among their community, there's rumors inside their churches. I guarantee it. But the human response to such a stressful thing is to pretend it's not happening, or that it will blow over, or that it won't get to me. And then when it gets to that last moment, desperation and fear take over, and you're like, I got to do something. So they show up there. And then you know that these people got a camera in your face. So you know, even as you speak on it, you have to be flattering to the new administration because you don't want to upset the people who gonna come get you. Right? It's all a really dark and horrible thing. And then you look at the immigration situation in and of itself. That paperwork ain't going to anything.
I'm sorry, say that again. You went a little.
That paperwork will not help any of these people. The incoming administration wants to get rid of birthright citizenship. Do you really think they care about a green card? Do you really think they care that you got an application pending? Absolutely not. You going on the rolls. That's where you going. You're going to be one of the first ones they come looking for. So there's that. But the other thing I wanted to kind of make people kind of think about is, and this is why I was saying they're in the country and they just now doing this. Consider if they're in the country and the information isn't hitting you or getting to you in a way that you can process it and act accordingly. What do you really think it's like for the people who are already on their way to the border? They have zero idea of what's going on. And this is what I thought about back when they were doing family separation, because they were saying this would be a deterrent. A deterrent to who? They're already in line to get there. There's no turning back. You're just separating the families for out of be cruelty, because you're not deterring anybody, because the people coming aren't checking the news every day. And this is our country. These are your neighbors. You hear me all the time. These are your neighbors. These are your friends. These are your cousins. These are your uncles. These are your aunties. Here's your boss. This is your pastor. This is your person sitting in the pew with you. This is the person who shows up at Thanksgiving. These are your people around you, people. And I'm talking to all of us, because all of us got somebody, or have some group close to us that hovers around us that are like this. The problem with immigration is not just the people coming across the border. Is that we don't have judges to help hear the cases. And the people who are doing it, who are being tried, who have to go through this, are not provided a lawyer because they're not U.S. citizens, and this isn't considered a federal crime. So they get treated where you don't have a lawyer. So now you don't speak the language, you don't have a lawyer, and we don't have enough judges. So what are we going to do? We're going to put you in a concentration camp and we're going to hold you. We're going to put you in and what we have been doing before the concentration camp, we would just put you in jail. And then we'll put you in jail as an illegal immigrant, and you would literally disappear in the system. This has always been the case here. So I can't get too worked up over this right now. It's about to get a whole lot worse than what you're looking at right now.
Yeah.
The only thing I can actually even add to this is I really do feel sorry for these people. I really do. My heart goes out to them, and that's just me. I can't help it. It's how I am. But it is hit right on the head. This is the country you chose it to be, and it's going to get worse.
And it's a country we've always been.
Yeah. We're literally
all we really that much 10 years ago. Why does it bother us that much now?
All we're really doing is speeding up the process. I mean, let's be realistic about it. There is absolutely nothing that's going on right now than what was not happening 10, 20 years ago. You know what the big difference is? The one big difference is not in the shadows anymore. And it don't have to be. That's the
forced to look
only
at it
big
now.
difference. That's literally the only big difference. We ain't got to hide it anymore. We can do it. We can get the 10 o'clock news and just broadcast what we're doing, and ain't nobody gonna say nothing. I told my mom I was gonna say this, and I want to go ahead and say it right now to get it out of my system so I won't forget. As American individuals, we do great. There are some people in America that could do some great things. Americans as individuals. But from this point on, America, the country itself, has absolutely no freaking business trying to be the leader of the world. Don't claim it. Don't even think about it.
Well, I kind of disagree a little bit. Okay.
I don't. Because think about it this way, Theus.
Mm-hmm.
This country, if this would have happened where a fugitive was elected as the president, the prime minister, what have you, we'd have looked at that country as a third world country. We'd have looked at it as, why is that country just like, and we did the exact same thing.
Yes, but here's the thing. It's kind of like it's only illegal because you made a law about it. Right? So America loves to like do this thing where we don't look at ourselves and really acknowledge who and what we are. And I have to say we, because we vote, we pay our taxes, we're citizens. We haven't chosen to like sneak and get across the border or anything like that, right? We've chosen to stay here because we know relative to most other places in the world, we get a pretty good deal out of it. But that good deal comes at the cost of blood, but it's not our blood. So we're able to not look at it. See, I'm one of those people that why people don't really like listening to me. I am willing to look at it. Okay? I'm willing to look at myself. I'm willing to look at you. I'm willing to look at everybody else and see us for who and what we are. The challenge isn't how dark and twisted we are. The challenge is how much light is left in us. So I look at it and say, okay, if we look at another nation and they took a serial offender, open criminal, scam artist, con artist, man has defrauded veterans. He's defrauded. He's peeped on little young girls in contests. Like he is a horrible specimen of decency, right? But he hadn't violated our laws to the point that he was declared to be a criminal until recently. But if you go back and look at our previous presidents, were they shining beacons of light? You know what I'm saying? Like we have presidents who oversaw slavery. We have presidents who oversaw Jim Crow. We have presidents who oversaw taking people just because they happen to be Japanese and rounding them up. We have presidents who have overseen the Iran-Contra. We have like, this is who and what we are. And we haven't, as a bigger group, demanded anything different because we understand that on balance, it's still better than many of the alternatives. Like you can say we can go to the UK. Okay, well, the UK still had all these colonies and stuff around the world, and people were flaring up in protest all around the world, but they you know what they've done to Haiti, what they did to Barbados, all these different places, right? They had the people that they conquered started coming back because they're British citizens. They come back to the country where they can finally get a job and be able to try to do something for their family back home. And what happens? You get Brexit. Okay. So you go to many of the African nations that have been completely corrupted by the West, you know, America and its Western partners. So they got all kinds of warlords and drug dealers and all kinds of horrible people running things over there, mainly because America put them there. South America, same story. China, they got what they've been doing to the Uyghurs. Literally taking the people and putting them in concentration camps. North Korea, if one person commits a crime, the whole family gets to go to the concentration camp. Right? So what makes America so special that we wouldn't do such these things? Right? What makes America so special that it can't happen here, that the unrest can't happen here? I mean, look at the African American experience in America. It's been horrible from day one. It's gotten marginally better, but come on. What's happened to the indigenous people in America? Name your place. All of them in bad shape. So, like, literally, America is no better than anywhere else in the world. If you look at it on a national scale, what it does to other people, it's just that now those chickens are coming home to roost. And America is like, it's only as bad. We only view it as bad as we see it right now because a lot of the negative consequences are starting to happen to Europeans. That's all it is. If this stuff was not happening to the middle class right now, America would continue to roll along. But the middle class is getting touched now.
And now they decided to pay attention. Well,
yeah, now it's a big deal. Now it's a big deal. But it's not quite the big deal we wanted to be. And this is part of the things I hit on my video. Notice who they're attacking right now. All right? They're not attacking indigenous Americans because they're already been conquered and largely destroyed. They're not really attacking Black people except for our ability to economically survive, which is a big deal. But I'm just saying, we're getting like ancillary attention. They're going after immigrants and Latinos, right? They don't want birthright citizenship. They don't want H-1B1, whatever the right visa number is. They don't want that anymore. They're going after the immigrant groups. Right now, the Asian, the Chinese, and the Indian folks are screaming bloody murder and looking for allies because they didn't realize that what they were doing to the Black and the brown people, yeah, they don't like you too, right? But what nations is the new Fuhrer focusing on? He's not focusing on the Black nations. He's not focusing, even all the stuff that Mexico is doing right now, he ain't even focusing on Mexico. He letting it ride. They're talking all kind of trash about him. He ain't sweating it one bit. What's he doing? He's saying, I'm going to take Greenland and I'm going to take Canada.
Okay.
He's doing what scared people do. He's trying to secure North America so that white people will have a new native land on par with Europe. That's what he's doing. He's attacking his own people. So it's about to get wild, y'all. It's about to get so wild, and it's scary. But we're here now. Yeah, and like the Panama Canal, he will never try to take the Panama Canal. And when he said it, I knew he wouldn't. And here's the reason why. Look into, there's all kinds of documentaries out there for you can check out. Look into the Panama Canal. They're having trouble maintaining water for the Panama Canal.
Right.
There's another canal they're looking at building in South America that would be more lucrative and easier to manage than the Panama Canal. Because you got to understand, Panama Canal is old. It's outdated technology. So if you can't control the water and it's old technology, America doesn't want the new canal built because that'll mess up all kinds of stuff. Yeah. But America doesn't want the Panama Canal either because we ain't got the money for it.
A lot of blustering.
Yeah, but all the while they're gonna run. Oh, they're gonna run the table. Oh my goodness, we're talking about us. We will be what is it? Not that we aren't already, but even worse. But a mini Russia, right? Where you have Trump, which is a pale reflection of Putin, and he's building his oligarchy underneath him. Okay. Right? Remember the keys of power you showed us, Marlon? Right? So he's building that. Oh, he's already built it. And So now Russia is doing what? Russia's trying to bring back together the old Soviet Union so they can have a strong control of the Asian continent. America's trying to bring together all of North America. The Europeans are pulling together and trying to circle the wagons because they already see the writing on the wall. Africa is ascending. India is ascending. China is ascending. America had its turn. America will now be number 2 or 3. And these European Americans with the power and the money, they realize that. They've already known that. They know the timeline better than any of us. So they're going to secure their power.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to wait their time. And in 20 years, they hope to be in a better position to reassert themselves.
All right, let's move on to the next video. We got plenty of time to talk about it. The upcoming protests.
And Trump presidential term is stoking fears in many. This brought various activists to Lower Manhattan today to make sure their voices will still be heard. Our Jessica Formoso has their story.
No justice! I said no justice!
Hundreds chanted and marched through the streets of Lower Manhattan, opposing the policies and rhetoric of the incoming Trump administration.
The sign says what I have to say. I can't believe that we have to do this again, and I fear that this time will be worse.
It's a march that started in 2017. It was then called the Women's March, a worldwide protest the day after President Donald Trump's first inauguration. 8 years later, it has been rebranded as the People's March, a movement demonstrators believe means more now than ever.
Things like this are what we need to do, and standing together is what this country was founded on. So standing together is the best way to fight for what is right.
Rallying for women's reproductive rights.
We're pushing for the Equal Rights Amendment. I'm very concerned about the Supreme Court. If they can roll back 50 years of precedent protecting a woman's right to choose, then they can roll back any right. And that's why it's so important to get the Equal Rights Amendment and the protections for women in the Constitution where they belong.
Immigration.
I think the immigrant community faces uncertainty, fear that they don't deserve.
To LGBTQ rights and other causes they believe are under threat from the incoming administration.
The right to live our lives as we want to, the right to choose our partners, the right to express ourselves as we wish to, the right to honest history about the history of racism in this country are all going to be wiped away.
New York City isn't the only place the People's March took place. Similar rallies happening across the country. In Lower Manhattan, I'm Jessica Formoso, Fox 5 News.
I'm gonna say something real quick so I can be out the way and not say nothing else. If you look at the crowd, go back and replay this video when y'all got time. They are in New York, the melting pot. How many people of color did you notice? Right? We ain't showing up for that.
Nope.
Because we saw the fight. The fight's over. We lost. And this right here. They ain't gonna see that many of us. That doesn't mean nobody's working. People are working.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just was a point, except for the brother who was there for gay rights. And he did touch on racism as well. But there wasn't a lot of people in the crowd.
We talked about this in the group chat. You'll be amazed at how much Anna and Thea's talk in the group chat throughout the week. And I brought this up and I said, I'm just cynical right now about protests and things like that. And in a sense, I am. And Thea's idea, and understood exactly what you were saying. They have every right to do it. I just still, in the back of my mind, feel there are wolves in sheep clothing in this group. I don't mean it's going to be dangerous and something's going to happen during the protest or something like that. That's not what I mean. What I mean by wolves in sheep clothing is I just really, really feel like this is their backwards way of what's the word I'm trying to use? Network, seek help for protection.
Infiltration?
It's not infiltration, is
like virtue signaling?
And maybe that's it. Maybe that's
I don't think that's what they're doing, but I mean, I think that's part of what they're doing, but
yeah.
Oh, and that's the cynical part of me. Like you said, I agree with you, 90% to 10%. But I so hate that 10%. Like I really, really do. I really, really do. Like you chose this, but now you know what you chose. You now need protection from.
Well, maybe this will help a little bit. I sincerely do not believe that the people who are out there protesting are the people who voted for this. I don't believe it. I believe these are the people who actually tried to avoid it. Now, either they tried to avoid it by voting against it, or they sat out for whatever misguided reason they sat out. But I don't think they're the ones who pulled the lever for the guy, right? It's just, but that does go back to part of what you were hitting on, though, Marlon. What is the efficacy of this? And personally, I know I just pointed out that you don't have a lot of black and brown people in these marches that you're seeing. I'm glad. I'm very, very glad, because wherever you have black people in the marches, you draw the violence from the authorities, because they'll scapegoat us, and that'll allow them to bring in violence. They won't do that to a crowd full of soccer moms and boys that look like their own sons. They ain't doing it. Not without a lot more provocation than what you're seeing. And the reason why I say this is also a good thing is because so long as it's so mild and it doesn't show a broad representation, what they're seeing mainly are old white ladies and quote unquote blue-haired girls, right? So America shrugs them off. They just shrug them off. But one of the things I'm so confident Trump and his people really, really wanted was a massive protest. They wanted it so bad. And if they get it tomorrow, you can expect a declaration of emergency that day. That day. It's coming anyway. He's already said he's doing it because he needs it in order to do the roundup. But if you have a Jan 6 from the left,
right,
martial law happens like immediately. Like this resistance is not going to be effective through overt violence. I wish there was a way for those of the resistance to actually learn from our history, but you haven't learned from our history so far, so you're not going to learn now. But one of the lessons from our history is we're not going to fight you head up. You got to learn how to play along and do your subterfuge. You play along and you sabotage. You play along and you withdraw. Like, this is guerrilla warfare. You're up against the most powerful nation on the planet. You're not going to be able to fight them. Not head on, because I know enough military people and have known they're going to follow orders.
Yes.
Whatever they might say individually, you made a
they become a unit.
You're going to follow orders. So it's going to be
or you go to jail. So
Well, yeah, you go to jail, but you're afraid. It's so much bigger than that, right? So, like a protester has to be willing to go to jail. A protester has to not just be willing to go to jail, but they almost see it as a badge of courage if they get tear gassed or they get knocked upside the head 1 or 2 times. A soldier, that is someone who has dedicated their lives to protecting the nation. They have had it drilled into their head for years. They follow orders. They respect the chain of command, even when they don't agree. And what's tied to them is the welfare of their family.
Yep.
And a person will do anything for their family. They'll carry out any dark order. They'll execute, terrorize, torture, whatever it is. Because this is how you rationalize it. I will take on hell to deliver heaven. And I say that because that's how I believe. There's no dark thing I won't do to protect my family. None. So give me training and a brainwashed mentality. Yeah. You want to find resistance and hope, it's going to be in your brothers and your sisters and your friends and your acquaintances that are close to you. That's where you're going to find it. The government ain't coming to help us. Thank you, Parker.
You have the last word. Yeah. Yeah.
Very true. When I first heard about this weeks ago, I had people asking me, can you come? Can you make it? I don't know. Because this march happened today. Yesterday. And I am somebody who I grew up going to protests. Like, it was a family thing. It was a thing that was done with many of my communities. It is a camaraderie thing. And all the things we've said before. It is a great place to network. There is something that is just relieving about being in a big group of people, hundreds of others, who, at least very generally, think the way you do. That want a government that will work for the people. It is what?
Susan. That's just Susan being Susan.
Is I'm watching the videos where you said black people in secret hoping to hide my white skin.
Okay.
Anna, I have different types of content, like, as you know. So I have politics that's just politics, but then I have black community and black economics. So the most recent 2 videos I put out, I think, were black community. So that's what she's referencing.
Okay.
But you were talking about the camaraderie and things.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, it gets very hard to get back on track.
Okay, well then let me ask you this question.
Go for it.
What gave you pause?
My safety.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is out there. And what really struck me about that footage, how subdued. No judge, no peace. This was by far what is called sometimes the blue hairs. They have said right now that they kind of brand themselves as the Blue Bracelet Brigade. Someone thought it would be a brilliant idea to wear like blue beads. It would signal to all the other people out there,
I'm one of the good ones.
Yeah. Look,
that's exactly how it lands to us.
Okay. That's it. I'm sorry, Marlon. I'm gonna curse. This time it's me.
And go for it. I did it yesterday.
That is virtue signaling, and really, if I had gone, it would have been to meet up with some people that I have been working with, and not to go march in this protest. But no, my health and my safety, I would have to get my wheelchair out. My wheelchair, actually, I need a new one, so it's not the best condition. My caregiver would need to come with me. Like there's a whole bunch that I would have to organize. I did have a twinge of, it would have been nice. It would have been nice to feel that, to be with people who say, we are not with them over there. We are not happy with what's going on. That's what they are trying to scream. They did vote against it, and they have every right to say, didn't vote for this shit. But we have seen MAGA get way more violent, abusive. They are coming into spaces like where I moderate on YouTube. They're coming in a whole lot more.
Yeah, they're bold right now.
Uh-huh.
And they're going to get more bold.
They will.
One of the things I wanted to point out to people, and I think I said it in the past, folks focusing on some of the wrong things. Focusing on, which is justified though, okay? Focusing on Trump deputizing people and creating new federal organizations and all of those things. These things are very much going to happen. He's going to have his own version of the brown shirts, okay? They started recruiting years ago. Project 2025 is built for this, okay?
Yes.
But the danger to vulnerable groups is really each of the other people, just regular citizens. Okay.
Yeah, that 1-800 hotline.
Well, it's not even the snitch. It's not even the snitch calls. I'm saying, like, okay, remember, Zimmerman kind of kicked it all off as far as like attention to people killing our people just cause. But most of the coverage when they were killing our people just cause, it was law enforcement doing it. But remember, there was also the outbreak of private citizens declaring stand your ground and killing us. See, the state is dangerous enough. What you really need to be worried about, which is much closer to you, is going to be the random citizen who now feels that they can treat you like Ahmaud Arbery. That's what's going to be happening a lot more. And the media, because they don't want to show that, because they don't want the world, see, this is America moves in a cycle. They don't want the rest of the world to see how dark America has become and how weak America actually is. They won't cover much of that random terror. And so it will continue unabated. And because they have to protect their image more than anything else, you won't see court cases about it. You won't see national media about it. And see, here's how all these things kind of work together. Not only are you going to have that happening with the machine, and you're going to have the Department of Justice, the DOJ, not prosecuting. And then you also have it through the courts that they're getting rid of all kinds of civil rights protections. So you can't even claim that you were targeted for race or ability. All that stuff is being filtered out. So you won't even see it. It won't even be put in front of you. And then you have the left, because we don't know how to behave ourselves and be intelligent about how we do things. We're cannibalizing each other instead of refining each other. So we're going to kick MSNBC off the ledge. We're going to kick CNN the rest of the way off the ledge. We're going to kick TYT the rest of the way off the ledge. And then who's going to be there to tell our story? Who's going to be there with the funding and the ability to make it national news? What's happening to the immigrants? What's happening to the queer community? What's happening to the Black community? Who's going to be there to tell your story when we've already deep sixed all of our avenues? Right? They're not perfect. They're really garbage, but they still told our stories.
Because Lord knows Democrats, y'all are very terrible at messaging.
Well, the Democratic Party is, not to get on my soapbox on this, but they're worthless. Okay? This election right here is not even about Trump winning. It's about how the Democrats responded during and after. They're worthless. There is no value whatsoever to the Democratic Party anymore. And when that nail went into that proverbial coffin was when the minority speaker, Hakeem Jeffries, starts talking about how we need to work with the other side. And you can't just, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but you got to put down your sword and pick up your shovel or something, whatever dumb thing he said. But basically is, well, they're in power now, and we just have to do our best to help them make the right decisions. Oh, that's what fighting looks like? Is that how they fought with you? You know, I'm not even saying go tit for tat. I'm just saying, is that what fighting looks like to you? That's why the Democratic Party didn't respond better with helping Kamala win the way that she needed to win. That is why the Democratic Party bent the knee to its donors, despite the fact that they have the same donors as Republicans, and ignored their entire base, because the Democratic power structure knew that even if they lose, they're insulated to just be in the minority for a little while. They do not have a shared fate with the people who vote for them. So ain't no help coming from the government.
Oh, and Parker, I really appreciate you saying that, but you do realize what he said, the funding and the worldwide output, and we're not there yet. We're not even close to being there, but I appreciate it because, like I said, Radical Truth to Power is going right back to reporting the news and getting those stories out that slides under the radar. Because I know for a fact somebody's going to pick up the story. It's just not going to be CNN and MSNBC and all the places it should be. But the stories are going to get out, and I am going to report it. And we, as a panel, are going to discuss it.
And that's
and
great.
The people in the comments are going to talk about it. See, I'm going to do my part. I'm not the marching person. Sorry, I'm just not the protesting. I'm not even the organizing type person. I'm the big mouth talk crap person. That's my skill that was blessed upon me.
But everybody plays their role if they're willing to play their role, right? So me and marching, not my thing, because I'm like Malcolm X. When I look at that, and I look at a lot of people look back at the big march that Martin Luther King did, and they were talking about it. And like Malcolm said, it's like a party. How you marching? How you say you angry and you smiling and singing and got music going and all of that? That's not an angry thing, okay? So for a person like me, it doesn't work. But for a person who needs to rally their local community and show that you're not alone, marches are very good for that. Plus, it's a show, a show of force to show the local authorities that you do have people who don't agree with you. So marches have a great value there, right? And then you were saying that you're more about reporting the news and getting some information out there because you never know whose ear has not picked this up, and you may be the only way they can find out. That is also useful. I'm just saying is all of these things are useful, right? Find your lane and operate in it. I'm more of, hey, I'm gonna work behind the scenes type thing, right? I'm like, hey, young man, they're hunting for you. They've always been out to get you. Now I need you to be aware that they're coming to get you. And there's no more of this. You just have to work twice as hard to get half as far. And you just have to, prove your worth every day. No, I'm not telling my young men that right now. What I'm telling my young men right now is you need to know that you are the course on the menu. You need to know how to disappear. You need to know when to fight and when not to fight. You need to know how to treat the women in your life. You need to figure out how to become a leader, right? That's my message. I'm not worried about fixing none of this. I don't have the power. My group doesn't have the power. The people who had the power chose not to exercise it. So let them fix it. I'm talking about I want more of my young men to survive what's coming. There will be a new round of Emmett Tills. There will be a new round of Freddie Grays. There will be more Trayvons. Guarantee it. There will be more Sandra Blands. Guarantee it. I want less of them. And I don't see my allies being the ones to help me. My allies are busy doing other things. And not enough of my own folks are trying to do something. So that's where my energy is. Let me see how I can help over here. So you know what? Stop going to Burger King. If you want to eat out, okay, how much do you normally take to go eat out? Cut that in half. Whatever you can afford to buy with half of what you would have spent, do that and take the other half and put that in cash in a safe in your house. I want you every month to take $5, $10, $20, whatever you can, stick it in your safe. Do that. Don't put it in the bank, put it in your safe. You need cash. That's the type of stuff I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
And I've monopolized enough time.
Teaching people how to garden, teaching them how to make food, teaching people how to deal perhaps without electricity, water, getting people to a state that has a doctor who will work with them. There's a lot that people are working on. We can't say, come on here and detail our work, or we put that work in jeopardy.
Especially someone like you. Like me, I can talk a little bit, but I can't go into too many specifics. Because like you said, what I'm trying to do is even disruptive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what I'm trying to do is just I'm talking about bunker mentality type stuff.
Circle the wagons. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not even quite circle the wagons. Like for me, like it is in a way. Yeah, you're right. But I'm also like bunker mentality in that we've already lost this round. Right. So like this is gonna sound horrible, I know, but I'm just giving you just how I think. Who are the best ones to fight any particular battle, to literally fight the battle? It's going to be your young people. That is your breath of hope. Those are the ones that will couple up and bring in the next generation behind them. Those are the ones that can gain knowledge and build off of the mistakes and the advances that we've made to do something more. That's our only hope, because our generation failed. The generation above us failed. The generation right under us failed. So what we owe, in my view, is we owe the young ones, the ones who have not come of age yet, we owe them absolute protection. We owe them the very best that we can give them, because our lives are sacrifice. Our lives are forfeit. We didn't do what we needed to do the way we needed to do it. So the least we can do is give the next generation something to work with. It ain't about me no more. It ain't about me no more. And I know I'm young. I'm only 46 years old. I know I'm young, but it ain't about me no more. It's about my kids and my kids' peers, because I failed them. But I'm not going to keep failing them. So if that means I got to pack my little nuts in the ground and be like, all right, now something happens to me, this is where you go to get it. And that's what I owe them. You know, but a lot of people don't think like me. A lot of people don't agree with me, and I understand that. A lot of people are still out for self, and that's cool. I mean, I'm not here to change minds. I'm here to find like minds.
So what you're saying is you would be the person who would draw a map to where the beans have been buried.
Absolutely. But first, I got to be the one to bury them, cans and all.
Okay, at least you nicer than everybody else. Nicer than that woman who just buried the beans and then.
Yeah, they had a messy relationship, but that's what I'm saying though. It's like that mentality that I'm trying to express is what our forefathers have handed down to us, but we thought we were beyond it, so we stopped carrying it forward. Right? I don't know what the faith identity is, but I honor my ancestors. I hear my ancestors. I'm here because of my ancestors. I have a debt to repay to my ancestors. So the best thing I can give them is the best of me, and the best of me are the children. So how do I protect them? How do I give them a shot? All right. And that means with every breath I have, I want to give them a shot. And I want my last breath to be protecting them from getting shot. So that's what it is.
All right, everybody. That is our first
Sunshine.
hour.
I'm Mr. Sunshine.
We're so used to about that. These Okay, look, to me, and we've talked about this, what we're going to do on this show ain't going to always be rainbows and sunshine. Sorry. Just not. That's not where we at right now. Please believe this will not be the show where you come over here to feel good. Because, yeah, and how you want to take that, but no. We can't. We're not, what was that we used to say? We don't have that luxury. So sorry, no. But anyway, but as for you being Mr. Sunshine. I'm so used to it. I'll be more shocked if you was happy. That
I'm
is
happy.
that is our first hour. We're going to go ahead and get into the second hour with Am I the A-Hole? Positive story of the week, which we played yesterday, but I wanted Thea's take on it. Real or non, then right into Foxy's videos of the week. 3-minute break to reboot and refresh, and we'll see everybody on the other side. Stay tuned.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, I wanna be free. I always stay dreaming, never imagined I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, I got to burn you. I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, I wanna be free,
We are back, and without further ado, let's go ahead and pay those bills. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com/Tracy Media Fan. Help support Tracy and all of her endeavors. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's website, BorelliEtc.com. Learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. Please do not forget to go to Thea's website, OurUnitedCore.com. Communities build movements. And if you need to reach me, you can do so at radtp@outlook.com. That's RADTP@outlook.com. And let's go ahead and get into the Mama Heart Hour. Like I said, it only took me 5 years. Am I the a-hole? Kind of actually a short one tonight. That's not her card.
Throwaway because my husband told me I was the asshole and wanted to know before he gets home, and I argue with him. I was in a higher-end department store today, rhymes with looming tales, and happened to end up next to two teenage-aged girls while shopping. One of the girls had picked out a pair of very expensive boots, and they were both fawning over them. The second girl must have looked at the price tag and asked the boots girl if she was really going to spend that much on boots. Girl with boots says something along the lines of, "It's fine, I have my dad's credit card, I'm not paying." Which instantly caught my attention because that's not her card. I've told my son multiple times he's never allowed to use my card, so I'm interested to see how the girl thinks she's going to get away with fraud, but had split up from the girls at this point because they had found something else. Okay. We end up at the same register, me behind, and I see her total hit well over 4 digits. The girl is about to swipe her card when I decide that I can't let her get away with something like this, and someone has to parent this kid if no one else will. I tell the cashier that this isn't her card but her father's, and I'm not sure she has permission. Girl and friend turn around and glare at me, giving possibly the dirtiest look I've ever seen. I swear this girl was going to throw a tantrum right there. I don't think she has ever been told no. Girl tells the cashier her father gave her the card to shop with because it's the store's credit card and it gives him the points. Now that I've pointed out that it wasn't her card, the cashier tells her she can't use the card. The girl tries to show her ID to prove they have the same last name. Yeah, that'll help. And I tell her it's still fraud. The girl says it's not fraud because she has permission and tells me to mind my own business. I tell her that it is my business and that she's doing something illegal. She needs to pay with her own card or I call the cops. The girl is pissed now and people are glaring at me. She uses her own card and leaves crying. The cashier looks mad at me and I tell my husband when I get home only for him to agree that I was in the wrong. So Reddit, am I the astronaut?
Yeah, you kind of
Yeah.
are.
You're muted, Am. Okay.
I know. The fuck were you doing? Not your kid, not your.
I've gone through hundreds of Reddit stories. It took this long to find somebody who actually went out of the way to be an asshole. And you're a liar. You're just a straight up liar. We just so happen to be at the register at the same time. You're a lie. You followed that girl just so you could drop this little ball. This is none of your business. It is my business. No, it is not your business at all.
This is a citizen's arrest, Marlon.
Good Lord. And then I guarantee you, this is going to be on Am I the Devil? I guarantee you that they don't probably lit her up in the comments and she done deleted it and somebody got it before she deleted it. Because I'm not going to say there's somebody that's going to sit there and take her side, which for people like this, all you need is one. Or all you need is a few. You don't need a whole bunch of people. But I guarantee you, you're going to have a whole more people saying, you are an asshole. You sit here stalking these women for what they said. It wasn't your concern. It wasn't your money. It wasn't your business. It wasn't your daughter with that whole somebody got to parent her. And for you to say, I told my son before that he can't use my card. Yeah, it's your fucking card. You can make that decision. Obviously, her father said it's fine.
Perhaps.
We don't know.
See something, say something. Isn't that what they say, Marlon?
Well,
was she supposed to just stand there and watch fraud occur?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
See, here's my thing. She's the booty because she didn't just report her suspicion. She then put on her cape and went da-da-da, right? That is where she was wrong. I actually agree with you. Overheard someone basically discussing fraud. So you surreptitiously inform an authority of that location, hey, that transaction that's coming your way may not be legit. You might want to do some checking. And then you go on about your business. You did your duty. You're done. So yeah, I'm not with the mind your own business all the time thing, because that could be a little old lady whose credit card just about to get ran up. You know, that could be. There's so many different.
The only problem I have with that is, and the only reason I said what I said was because she premeditatedly just told this girl, "You have never been parented before, so I'm gonna parent you." Oh, she looked like she was finna throw a hissy fit. Oh, she looked like she was finna cry.
I agree
She
with you.
automatically just looked at this girl like, "You are a little brat, and this is for the first time. I'm gonna put you in your place."
No, I agree with you there. That from like all that's bad. I was only pushing back at your point where you said, "Well, what are you supposed to do? Pretend like you ain't see it?" And you were like, "Yep." And I mean, that's what some people believe. A lot of people believe that, and that's cool. It is not me though. Like I'm like, yo.
If I'd have heard her say this ain't my credit card, tee hee hee, and everything else, but if she says this is my father's card, I can't prove it is her father's card.
Nope.
The cashier can't prove it's her father's card.
Yes, you can.
Oh, the cashier.
Cashier, absolutely. When you hand me that card, cashier absolutely can say, "May I please see some ID?"
Yeah.
It's not a bearer instrument. We treat it like it's a bearer instrument, but it's not a bearer instrument.
Do they even do that anymore, though?
That's what I'm saying. We treat it like it's like, if you got it, you do your thing. Because nobody wants to get sued for questioning anything. But the reality is, you have a card. That card has a name on it, and it's supposed to have a signature on it. No, nobody signed the back of the card.
I know. I forgot all about that part.
But technically, that's what it's there for. So, like my kids, I don't send them out. I mean, now they're old enough now that I got cards with their names on it. But yeah, I mean, you understand that you let your daughter go do this, and that's fine. The rest of the world don't know that. And the agreement that you, Mr. Account Holder, went into with that financial institution was that you were going to be the one using this card. You actually don't have the right to give it to somebody else. That's not up to you. Sorry. However you feel about it. Hey,
wait, hold on.
Yeah.
You made a deal with the institution that you was the only one that's going to use the card, or you made a agreement with the institution that you are the one responsible for what that card is being used for.
The account owner is the only one who is supposed to use that card. That is why you have joint account options. That's why you can add your wife to your account and she gets her own card. They need to be able to track where the transactions are flowing, because the moment something doesn't go right, you gonna go to them and be like, "Hey, I ain't do that." So if they have to be there to back you up, you got to do your part to back them up. That's how that relationship works. Read the account holding agreement for your credit card, debit card, checking account. It doesn't matter. It's all in there.
Yes.
You entered into a contract. That's why they won't let minors have an account, except for if their parents are on it, right? Like, just because common knowledge is that we don't do it has nothing to do with the law and what you agree to in a contract. So, like I said, in common practice, of course, you know, people go to the pen pad, they do the little tap thing, or they stick the little chip in there, or they put the pen in there, and nobody's the wiser. But what people don't often understand is you, as the account holder, agreed that the only reason one of those things would happen is because you're doing it.
Okay, she's still an asshole.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
The moment that she said, you know, "You've never been parented before, and I will take on that," you crossed, asshole. You became mega asshole. I don't know.
Yeah, she's a vigilante now. She's a new Batman.
Okay. financial institution can close that card down immediately if someone other than the owner of the card uses it.
And don't you want them to?
Yeah.
So there you go. But I remember I spent many years working in the bank, and what people will say is, I said that my daughter could use this card, so I don't see why there's a problem. You don't. Okay. Who knew you let your daughter use that card? Who was privy to that information? You and her. But if your daughter got into your account and ran up $300 worth of Xbox fees or something, who you gonna call? You gonna call me, and you gonna say my daughter did not have permission to do that thing right there. That's too circumstantial. I can't function like that. I can't run a business like that. I can't protect your money like that. That's why you have people who are getting so mad when their kids were like Google fees, like when you can do the games on your phone, and all of a sudden the kid ran up $300-400 worth of fees, and then they're like, I shouldn't have to pay this, and Google and your bank are like, yeah, you do. we did what we were supposed to do.
We signed a contract. It's not the bank's fault that we don't read all the fine print. We don't understand.
Now the fine print is terrible in many cases, because the person who writes the contract to protect their own interests.
Absolutely.
But you did agree to it.
Yep. You signed your name to that.
Remember, the main reason I left Facebook was because I read the new agreement and I was like, ooh.
All right, I learn something new every day. I'm not too old to learn. That's fine. Give me an excuse not to ever give Foxy my credit card again. Positive story
of your family.
Go up to the cashier, say my wife has my card. That is permission.
Yeah.
She just stared
there are
at
ways
me.
to do it.
She just over there staring at me going, I'll just take it.
Yep, and dare you to call somebody. What you gonna do?
You just better not lose it.
I didn't even hear. I don't know.
Foxy would be sitting right next to you, like, call him. Call him, Marlon.
Oh, she talking about I won't know until she get back.
Yep.
Anyway, this is a positive
I don't
story.
want to know.
It don't matter what the hell I'm gonna do. I mean, literally, that's my wife. Trust me, if she takes all the money out that car, we broke. Not
right?
Me.
Yep.
We broke.
Congratulations, you stole from yourself. All right, let's go. Can I fit those heels? Because I don't know.
Shoot. These are nice shoes. Well, I hope you can move fast enough to generate some electricity, because baby, it's about to get turned off.
Oh, baby, you got some red bottoms. Oh, okay. Can you run in those? Because see, we got to go rob a liquor store, and you're gonna have to be able to run. So
you should have bought some tennis shoes, not no red,
red
bottoms. Thank goodness I don't have the discipline for a credit card.
It gets away from you fast.
And the funny thing about it, Tracy, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Credit cards get away from you real fast. I used to counsel people on all the time. It all starts the same way. Everybody starts off good. I'm just gonna get this card and I'm gonna use it for gas.
Yeah. You have to use it for your credit score to go up and all that.
My favorite one. I'm just getting this credit card for emergencies.
Chipotle can be an emergency.
You all of a sudden became very, very hungry. That's an emergency.
Yep. You putting what's a good place to eat in my world, because I'm low budget broke folk. So Olive Garden is still nice for us. So we're gonna put Olive Garden on layaway. Because that's what you're doing with a credit card. You put it on layaway with interest.
With interest, yep. All right, everybody. I played this positive story yesterday, but I just wanted to get Thea's reaction on it. Permission to sneak out.
Am I the butthole for letting my 17-year-old daughter sneak out? My daughter turns 18 in a couple of months. She came to me and asked if she could have the experience of sneaking out. She told me who she would be with, what she'd be doing, and when. I said yes. I did not tell my husband, her stepdad. Well, when she snuck out, she didn't put her screen back on the window. When my husband noticed, he came to talk to me about it. I told him that I gave her permission to sneak out. He wants to punish her? I said no because I gave her permission. He's really upset, and it looks like this is going to ruin Thanksgiving. She's a good kid, currently has all A's. He's been in her life since she was 5, and we sometimes butt heads about parenting styles. I just wanted to ask, am I the butthole?
Yes, you're the butthole. You're very much the butthole. Much butthole. Big butthole. See, here's the thing, Miss Butthole.
What?
Sneaking out. Okay, first of all, you're not sneaking out if you got permission. So I get the angle that you're trying to take here, ma'am. But you have 2 parents in this household. So you decided to not tell him that you gave her permission. See, you didn't have to tell her that you told him. You didn't have to tell her that he knew. She can have it in her little head that she's getting over on her stepdad, which is wrong in and of itself. But she just wanted to feel a little rebellious, and you were trying to help her. Okay, Mom. Whatever. You should have went to your husband because, see, here's me. I check on my kids multiple times a night. It's just who I am. So let me find out one of my kids missing. The amount of heart attack I'm about to go through, and now I'm doing all kinds of preparations for how do I find them, how do I track them down, and all this type of stuff. You put me through all of that when you could have easily have come to me as a co-parent, and we'd have been on the same page. Like, yeah, that makes you a butthole.
Tracy, you wasn't here yesterday, but that is exactly what I said yesterday. That do not start this whole keeping things away from your spouse.
Yeah.
Period. Just don't do stuff like that, especially when it comes to your kids.
And then just think about the next step.
Granted, there are going to be some things that your kids are going to confide in you to keep away from the spouse. But you should be, I'm hoping, big word here, hoping you would know the difference. Your child sneaking out is not one of them. Because trust me, if one of my kids came to me and asked me for permission and then gave me a dissertation on exactly what she's going to be doing the whole time she's sneaking out, I can't wait to tell Fox because it's the funniest freaking story I've ever heard in my life. I'd be like, yeah, I cannot believe what our daughter just asked me to do. What? She asked me permission to sneak out. What did you say? I said, yeah, because they show her a piece of paper. I said, yeah, because here's the information, the address, the phone number, the social security number of the friend she gonna be with. It was just, but anyway, my point is, it was so cute. I'm sorry. It was just a cute story that
it's cute for everybody but dad.
Really asked for permission to sneak out. And I don't want to tell her, honey, at this point, it's not sneaking out. It's just you going out. But now there's a part of me.
She knows what it is.
A part of me, however, as a father, because I did have, I'll tell you the truth. I said it yesterday. I had to check myself this because you, honey, the next time you sneak out, you got to make sure that you put the screen back on the window. Then I thought, no, why would I teach my child how to sneak out of the house in a better way? So no, I'm not going to tell her that.
Yeah, there's a couple different layers to this thing, right? So she's a good kid, so you're trying to let her feel a little rebellious, and the kid has obviously been listening to the lessons that you've been trying to teach her. So that's why she wanted to make sure you knew where she would be.
Susan, for a second though, I honestly thought the exact same thing. So I would love an update on it. That the stepdad is just going along with the whole thing. So it's like, young lady, you snuck out. So
his thing about wanting to punish her, that was him talking to his wife, not the daughter. So he ain't on nothing. He's pissed. So, but yeah, it's just like the problem I have all this is you were playing with his emotions. He's a father, and his child was missing. Like, how does that not get figured?
That's what I mean. Would he have been more? Would he have been okay with it if she just immediately went to him and told her?
I don't know. He might not have agreed with it, but it hadn't happened yet, or it had just happened, and my spouse is now taking ownership of something that that is about to happen, right? That means I know that one of us is in control of this situation. Instead, you had him have to wait until after his emotions have already gone up here to then be like, oh no, I gave her permission. I just ain't tell you. Mm-hmm. Oh, so now I'm mad at you too, because all of this could have been avoided. I didn't have to go through the real experience of my child disappointing me, my child scaring me. I didn't have to go through any of that. You didn't have to go through it because you knew up front. You robbed me of the ability to either be in partnership with you or at least not be mortally afraid of what's happening to my child, who's obviously a little bit clueless, okay? Because this is my little goofy child that is so honest that she knew she needed to be honest with her mother before she tried to do this. So is she ready for the world that she thinks she could be walking into? Is she ready for it? Right? So like, there's so many layers to it. Like, it triggers me on so many levels because I'm like this. If you got a kid that you know is rebellious and might do something like this, my parenting style says, all right, I got to toughen this kid up because this kid has decided that that's the side of the world they want to walk on. So I got to get them ready for that side of the world. I got to teach them how to know how to control their lives. I got to make sure that they know how to cover their tracks. I literally have to start teaching you how to be the type of person you think you want to be, because the people you're going to be interacting with, they are the type of people you think you want to be, right? And they will eat you alive. Or I got this goofy child and I'm going to be like, look, baby, what's next? Right? You and your mom came up with this plan. Now I'm this is all the things I went through. You're back here. If your mom didn't know, what would you think my reaction would be? What comes next? Right? So there's so much that goes into what seems like a lighthearted kind of thing, but you're literally, if you're not factoring in the fact that you're playing with somebody else's emotions, then that's bad for me.
All right. I get you.
I done show up my little boyfriend house. You know what I'm saying?
Real or nah?
Cody, bring your behind out here.
Wow.
I'll fight you and your daddy. Come on. Yeah.
Is this a good school?
I'm a 52-year-old man, and I have 2 kids, a son who's 26 and a daughter who's 19. When my son went to college, I thought college would open up opportunities, and he was supposed to major in computer science, but he failed a bunch of classes and changed his major to something less lucrative. He went to school out of state, and I now realize that this was a poor investment. I didn't want to make the same mistakes with my daughter. She also wants to do computer science, and last year she got into a foreign university in the UK, which she says is like Stanford over there. I didn't want the same thing to happen to her, so I told her that I can't help her pay for that and to go to a local state university or community college and then transfer. She ended up not going and deferred her admission to see if this year she can get a loan, which I'm not in favor of, but it's her life, or if she can get a scholarship for a better American college. She seems a little annoyed at me, since effectively her brother got more money, but that was before I knew better. I can afford the same thing for her now, but it would be tighter now, and I don't want the same thing to happen, especially if it would be for a foreign degree. I suspect the same could happen to her since her brother was typically the brighter one, while she just pushed herself the last years of school.
Well, it could be
Okay.
real. I'm going real.
Okay. Let me put this tidbit in. The foreign school that her daughter got accepted into was Cambridge. Cambridge. The world-renowned Cambridge.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry. I can't believe it. I really can't. I'm sorry. I can't believe this story. I can't believe that you thought Cambridge, you got into just some foreign school to get a foreign degree. Bruh, come on.
These aren't broke folk, Marlon.
These are folks that Cambridge is only a middle tier place.
Yeah, these ain't broke folks, Marlon. This ain't us, bro. This ain't hardworking middle class American folk, man. These hardworking, well-off folks. Okay, I think that there's a gender issue. So there's already the bias. Well, I mean, perhaps, but there's already the bias of the eldest child, getting away with things. So you end up trying to make the adjustment on the younger child. That's parenting. Most of us have done it in some form or fashion. But it's I'm with Tracy. This is real. I think one, he doesn't want his daughter that far away. Mm-hmm. And two, he or she, whichever parent this is hiding behind what the elder son, did. And so once you've made the decision, all you have to do is start finding ways to rationalize it. And that's what this parent is doing, right? And to the point, and this is where the dead giveaway was. You even don't want to let her get a loan. And you followed up with, I can afford it. You can afford to send her to Cambridge.
Mm-hmm.
But you want her to go to a local community college. You see how bad that math works? That math doesn't work, right?
And my favorite part of the whole story when he said, the only reason she got in is because she worked very hard and was more dedicated than my son.
The last 2 years. So he's basically saying the son was brighter and applied himself all the way through, and the daughter was lazy or whatever, and then she applied herself the last 2 years, which is really more of a reflection that she was brighter than her brother because she was able to skate through. And it was when she decided it was time for her to get ready for what came next, she turned on the gas. That's actually a smart kid. Might be a lazy kid, but that's a smart kid. She's almost certainly smarter than her brother. But you are using her brother against her.
It was a bad investment.
Well, I mean, school is an investment. If I send my daughter to school and she went in for computer science and then she changes her major to Egyptian tap dancing, that's a bad investment. We need to talk.
I don't even know what to say to that. I'd be so pissed off that she even came to me and asked me, I want to take up Egyptian tap dancing.
I'm just saying.
What? How much money could that possibly cost? It's Egyptian tap dancing.
I mean, you got to pay for the shoes. You got to pay for the outfits. There's definitely going to be travel costs.
I'm sorry. No, I don't. I'm not paying for this.
Well, what's she supposed to do? She's already changed her major. She's over there. You got to, I mean, you're not going to let her fail out of Egyptian tap dancing class. I mean,
yeah. Sure will.
So now she didn't even get a degree.
It wasn't a real degree to begin with.
If it's being offered by the school, it's a real degree. Anna, what you got?
Nothing. No. I say it's real.
All right. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong in the future. I don't care. Fosse's videos of the week. Two political videos and one funny one, but you'll see why I played the funny one last in a way. Something wrong with this country.
There's something wrong in this country telling people it is okay to work 3 jobs, not see your kids, not see your loved ones, not take a vacation, and God forbid you get sick, okay? And I still got a job at home because I'm a mother. Because let's not forget, I don't get a day off. And I got to figure all that out. How are we going to eat? How are we going to pay rent? How are we going to pay the utility bills? That every single thing went up after COVID. Not one thing stayed the same. And neither party ever talks about what is really going on in this world. Because I'm not even going to say the country. What is really going on in this world? There is no scarcity. It is how do we pit people against each other so they're too distracted to see everything that I'm too addicted to consuming. And how much profit I'm making, and more profit, how many more houses one individual can have, how many yachts can one individual have. And you're gonna arrest me now that I make a tent city? Yeah. So if I take the scraps from the trash and make some kind of shelter for me and my children, whatever. I am a human being first. With what conscience are you criminalizing poverty? Right. And it's not going to stop just in the United States. The poor of the world, not just this country, are fed up. And let's not leave out rural communities. I live in Haines City, Polk County, Florida, okay? But do you think that the poor in rural communities have transportation? They don't. There's absolutely not even a sidewalk to walk on because I am giving the message of stay poor, stay hidden, and die silently, okay? If I get a job, how do I get to that job?
The lady was solid. She's right.
The whole way through. Thank you, Foxy. She the one that sent me the video. Foxy has become more of an advocate this year, or this season, I should say, than anything else. She sent that to me last night at the last second and demanded that I play it, but I'm glad that I played it.
Last second, you have a deadline for your wife, Marlon?
No, she like to send stuff in the middle of the night and then talk about, did you see it? No, just play it. Okay. Okay, I need you to calm all the way down. Like, okay. But then when I saw the video, I said, where's the lie?
You realize what Anna and I have always known. Foxy was right.
No, brother.
Yeah, but it was funny. One of the things that the lady said was how many yachts they need, how many houses they need. More.
No, I like the fact that she was talking about rural America. Go get a job. You want to get out, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. How are they gonna get to the job? You go get a car. How are they gonna get a car if they don't have a job?
Mm-hmm. How does rural America vote?
Say that again.
How does rural America vote?
Yeah.
Now, that's not the entire story, of course, but I'm just saying, start there a little bit. You know, because part of what's crippling America, so to speak, is this aspirational nonsense. You vote against your own best interest because a part of you, a big part of you, the part that, because you refuse to look at things for what they are, believes that there's merit in wealth. So you think the wealthy people are being blessed and that you're just a blessing away from becoming one of them. And that is really hurting people all across this country, especially when you look at Jesus cared for the poor, he cared for the sick, he cared for the infirm. But Americanized Christianity has said that wealth is because he's opened up a window and poured out blessings that you didn't have room for. Like they've completely bastardized all of his teachings, and it's hurting people. It's terrible. Like they don't do healthcare. They don't want to give universal healthcare because they've put merit to work and merit to health. Like I really have long despised the concept that there's any merit in working hard. There's no merit in working hard. There's no merit in working. The standard of living you want to achieve, that's you working. You should work for the standard of living that you want to achieve. But that doesn't make you a better person because you went to work today. It doesn't make you a better person because you made $1 million versus the guy who made 10,000, right? You're not better for that. Like, stop it. But that's where we are.
I had a video that I may show it one day, but it was somebody that was on Reddit complaining about the new generation who want this, if they get hired for this, if they get overtime, they want this, and they're just pretty much just complaining. But the line that stood out so much is, I can't stand this new generation who will rather work smarter than harder. And I went, what? Like, did you mean to say that? Or is this a troll post?
No, it's one of those, it's probably a Gen Xer or a boomer. But I kind of follow where they're going, but their anger is in the wrong place, right? Like these younger generations, I don't think they have a very good work ethic. I've worked with enough of them. I've had enough of them work for me. Their work ethic is horrible, but they also have some really good points, right? Like there should be a balance of my work life. I shouldn't be working to live, right? That's ridiculous. And they're smart enough to know that they're not being rewarded for their work. So why should they work harder, right? It's like, that's what's happening. And instead of fixing the things that are getting in their way, we just blame them for not overcoming the things that are put in their way. That's crazy.
Sri Lankan, and
Sri Lankan.
Sri Lankan dancing, for example, is really, really expensive. I don't even know what that is.
I mean, it's got to be. I mean, can you imagine?
Sri Lanka is an island off of India. So India has a lot of really beautiful dances, a lot of different cultural, like the northern stuff, very, very different than the southern stuff, just because they're very different people.
Yeah,
And
look at that, Marlon. Your daughter goes and she can learn Sri Lankan dancing. And then get this. She comes back and she starts a Sri Lankan dance studio. And now she has a chain of Sri Lankan dance studios. See, we will only criticize her for going to get this BS degree until she owns 5 Sri Lankan dance studios and she's making $1 million a year. All of a sudden, she's a genius.
I would love that to happen if you could come and tell me that one of your minors or be a double major and say one of the majors was business if you want 5 studios of Sri Lankan dancing.
But sometimes you don't know that. A lot of your most successful business people had no business background whatsoever, but they were good at the thing,
I
right?
had an
They get
idea.
the thing,
Yeah.
you know, and it turned into a bigger
I'm not paying
thing.
for it. It's better to get down on your knees with a cloth to clean the floor than to use a mop. Yeah, that's pretty much what they were probably saying. But Theus made his point of their work ethic is not good.
Well, the problem that
If they
one of the
do,
big
but-
problems with their go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just want to make a point that yeah, I never heard of work-life balance until this generation. Never.
Oh, I did. It was just not real.
I
Really?
I did not. Growing up and working, I ain't heard. No, it literally was work to live. Whatever it is that you need, you go work for it. Everybody, when I grew up, everybody heard that. You want to make it in this world, you need to work longer, harder, better than the next person, and work your way up the ladder and all this other stuff and beat out the competition and do exactly what your boss said. If your boss said you need to work 30, I worked at a place, I'm not going to give the name out. I worked at a place that literally had mandatory overtime, period.
I've only had that one place. I was like, what the hell is this?
One place, and it was all the time, every week, mandatory overtime. That was it. And it was always something like 10, 20, 30, to the point that, and I'm kid you not, because I'm assuming this was supposed to motivate everybody else, to the point where it's like, there's a guy who got a hotel nearby so he can work all the overtime that he can. So he would go work all the hours, then go to the hotel, just wash up, go eat, go to sleep, so he could come in and work as many hours as he has. And that's how he was able to afford his first car.
Yeah, I mean, he had a goal, and he went after it. My problem with the whole thing is, like, I've only worked one place that had mandatory overtime, only one, and it freaked me out. I didn't understand. I'm like, what? And yeah, Bill Gates was also already wealthy. He came from a well-connected family. No one likes to tell that part of his story. But
no.
but the thing is, to Tracy's point, though, you don't have to go to college to be successful. What college does is, more often than not, it helps you to be successful working for somebody else's business. So that's you know,
I am so much of an advocate now about go to college if you want the experience, if you want the knowledge, if you know things like that. But I'm no longer that person. Again, you got to get yourself into college. You just got to get yourself. I can't do that anymore. I'm not stopping people from going to college, because in all different facets of the world, I don't know why I'm going to say this country, like there's only colleges in the United States. You need that experience, because you have some families that have been sheltered with their family. They need the experience of networking. They need the experience of communication. They need I haven't even touched the classes yet. They need the experience of how do you live modestly on your own. You need that experience. And that's well before you even graduate and go out into the world.
Yeah, I look at it like you really have, and once again, people don't like this, but you really need to look at yourself. And you really need to look at your kids. And you need to be honest with them. By the time your kid is in the 10th grade, you know what kind of kids you're dealing with. And as a parent, your job is to prepare them. So you can either, if you have a kid who they're very entrepreneurial minded, then you need to look at it. Okay, is it better for me to invest in them going to college, taking on that debt for them to go to college, where they can learn more about business and finance and things like that, so they can hopefully start a business when they come out? Or is it better for me to take that $60,000, $70,000 and invest that into their new business, right? So there's that, and then your preparation will be different. For the next 2 years, I'm going to have you doing apprenticeships and doing internships and all of that stuff. I don't need you going to the grocery store and becoming a cashier. I need you to go to the barbershop and learn how they run a business. I need you to go to this local business, this local bakery, and learn how they do business. Like, you become strategic with that child who's entrepreneurial. Then you have another child who's, I don't know, more geared towards like law enforcement or military, or like they've always been into that their whole life. So then you get them ready for that. So when they finish high school, they can go off to the military. Yeah, they're going to teach you how to be a mercenary, but they're also going to teach you a lot of other great things. And you're going to have the opportunity to take another 2 to 4 years to mature and get some structure in your life. And then you come out and do whatever it is that you want to do next. You know, and then you got some kids that college is what makes sense. They've always been geared towards college. Let's get them off to college. They get 2 to 4 years to mature and get ready for, like you were saying, Marlon, you're semi on your own. You have to make decisions without me being over you. You got to make sure you get to class. You got to make sure you study and do all those different things that college teaches you so much that has nothing to do with the course load. Okay. You just need to be honest with who you are and who your kids are, what your resources are, what their aptitude is, and marry those things together to get the kid out there and ready. College is hard to get into now. I mean, the interest rates are ridiculous. Like, they'll give you the money, but the interest rates are dumb awful. So unless your kid is serious about going to college and comes out with a real degree and a real skill set, you're just dooming them to debt. So there's a lot. There's so much that goes into it. And I wish we would have more of those like discussions, because I think a lot of parents are well-meaning, but they don't know any better. So they just kind of let high school happen and just hope their daughter doesn't get pregnant and their son doesn't get arrested. And they've done what they could do. And then life is going to be tough, just like it is for everybody else.
And you also have that third set of people who are not, okay, because there's no better way of saying it. You're not
talking about like vocational. I didn't mention them. Sorry.
Yeah, you're not college material. But boy, you can get a car running real smooth. Boy, you can build a house better than anybody ever seen. Boy, you can do electricity in a blink of an eye. You have a certain skill. So yeah, I'm going exactly with you. But you know that of your child.
You should.
You see your child going around and taking apart things just to put it back together because they would literally want to see how it runs. Like, I'm sorry, bruh. And plumbers and electricians make bank.
They do, but now this is really important to me because I was listening to a guy earlier today, a fellow Gen Xer. It's like I'm looking at him and I'm seeing me, right? And but he was talking because he's a builder. He's a brother. He's a builder. He's obviously done very well for himself, and he teaches young people and stuff. And he's talking about how hard it is to teach these young people now because they just don't have any passion or interest in applying themselves or anything, right? But I wanted to say to him, but I can't because it'd be typing all day. There's another wrinkle that a lot of us don't like to look at. And I'm talking about Black parents with their young people. There is now this thing. Well, okay. So first of all, America overall is settling downward, right? Aspirations are sliding downward right now. That's where this tiny house thing and all that. Yeah, people think they're doing it because they think it's cute. No, they're not. They're doing it because you can't buy another house. You're buying a shed to live in because how terrible it has gotten for you to be able to get a home. That's the reality. If you can afford to get a home, you go get one. You didn't grow up wanting to live in a shed. Listen, be real. Stop it. Right? But you find a way to adjust to these things. My caution to the Black parents out there, be careful with this recent push towards the trades. Trades are awesome. You learn a lot of great things. You can make a lot of good money in the trades. Everybody needs a plumber. Everybody needs an electrician, right? Will they hire your child? Right? When your child shows up to bid for the job, because you got to bid for these jobs, to be the plumber, and you got a Latino man here, and they got your little black behind right here, how many times are you going to be passed over just because of who you are? Because we're not considered the primary focal point for that slice of business. So you got to be honest and really think about this. And this isn't just about other folks hiring us. What about us hiring us? We don't even want to do it. We're in a tough spot, bro. We're in a tough spot. So when we said we were trying to point our children toward this, we need to make sure we're also arming them so that they know the importance of networking, so that when the general contractor gets hired to do a project, he hires your son's electricity company. Right? Yeah. So the white guy got the contract. You got a good relationship with him because you do good work and he brings you in. But it's still going to be hard. You walking up in there trying to bid for something. And we just got to be honest with each other. We're in a tough spot and we got to prepare for it. And that doesn't mean don't do these things. I'm actually all for it. Become a airplane mechanic, or, you know, I wouldn't recommend right now going in the auto mechanic right now. It's just not a good field right now. It's tough. But there's things you can do. Just go in eyes wide open.
All right, everybody. Next video, strange history.
Just think about the history there. Trump tried to put her in prison, accused him of murder, said he was the secret Muslim founder of ISIS, said she was pretending to be black, ended his entire family dynasty, almost got him murdered, tried to overthrow his presidency, and paid off a porn star behind her back.
And yet he won.
Yep. Which brings me to the final video of the night. Be prepared, America.
Come on. My check better not be short. It's Friday and I'm broke. My check better not be short. It's Friday and I'm broke. 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 My check don't come till next week. My check better not be short. My check don't come till next week. My check better not be short. But I'ma act like I'm rich. 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 Act like I'm rich.
I say hold up, wait a minute. Pockets on E, ain't got nothing in it.
That sounds like a Yin Yang Twins beat.
That was also from Foxy.
I got nothing.
I know. I just want to make sure you don't try to blame me on that. Nope. Nope. She said that. She said the strange history thing too. Yep, sure did. Yep.
You know, one thing I definitely appreciate is Foxy has a very varied set of interests, and she finds, you know, different things that can, you know, stir up conversation.
Such a sucker. Oh my God. Oh Lord. I like the sass. Hannah, tell everybody where they can find you.
Oh, you can find me here on the weekends with tired eyes. Apologies that my eyes have been bugging me for like an hour here. But aside from that, BorreliaEtc.com, it's somewhere around there.
You pointed right at it. Yes.
Yeah, you can catch me here on the weekends, man. Well, most weekends, because you know sometimes I flake out because something happens and I'm stuck somewhere else. And then occasionally I drop some videos from time to time. So you know,
And you're doing very good with that lately.
yeah, well, thank you. What I've found is when I feel like recording, I'll usually record like 2, and then just stagger when they come out.
Hi.
Of course, we will be off next weekend. That's the final weekend of the year. And Anna, I talked about it last week. I mean, yesterday. Last night. 1, 2, 3. No, still be 3. So we won't be killing ourselves next week. Still 3 weeks.
You said we're out. We're not recording next week.
We're not. I was afraid we would do 4 weekends because the Saturday that we come back is the 1st, February 1st. So I was like, oh crap, it's gonna 4 weeks before we get to the final weekend. But no, it's still 3. So we're good.
Oh, and today is my parents' 50th anniversary.
Woo!
Wow. Congratulations to them.
Congratulations, or give our congratulations to them.
Or is it 51?
I don't care. What's you making a 50?
51. Yeah. This is 51 years.
Wow.
Congratulations to them. Bless their hearts.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, and of course...
I'm assuming you're LGBTQ.
Oh, sorry. One more comment. Oh, Tracy, you took off my birthday. So we came back and said, happy birthday. Get over it. Congratulations, Jesus' parents. So until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace.
Love, not war. A lot of love. Dirty, freaking, nasty, sweaty love.
No justice, no peace as I walk quietly and peacefully through these streets. But, okay. Bye.